Hello. Welcome back, and let's keep going with Unit 4 here. We're still in Lesson 5 in Algebra. This is Point Slope Form Day 2. So if you recall in the previous video, we learned about point slope form, which I'm going to write here for you. Remember this guy? Remember that? And in the previous video, the problems provided you with the ordered pair and the slope, okay? So you were learning how to substitute this number here and this number there, and this number went in that spot, and then we manipulated the equation into slope-intercept form. And you're still going to do all of that today. Except today, guess what? They don't give you the slope. What they give you instead is one ordered pair, x1, y1, and a second ordered pair, x2, y2, and they don't give you the slope. So guess what? We have to add in an additional calculation today. So I hope you remember how to calculate slope. Remember this? You're going to have to do that first so that you have your slope so that you can plug into the formula. So it's everything you did in the previous assignment and previous lesson, plus one more thing. You're welcome. This is all great learning. Good for your algebra brain. Okay, to write a linear equation given 2 points, such as x1, y1, x2, y2, follow this process. Use the slope formula. I just wrote it, but I'll write it again. That's where you find the difference in the y values in your numerator, and you take the difference of your x values in the denominator. That will give you your slope fraction. Then you use your point slope formula. So again, you'll have the m that you'll plug into this position, and then you'll have a y value and an x value from one of the ordered pairs. Now, we'll talk about that in a minute, because what you're going to see is they're going to give you 2 ordered pairs to start with and nothing else. And when it comes time to choose, what do you want to use for your x1, y1? It doesn't matter if you substitute in this x and y for these values here, or if you choose this ordered pair for your x and y for these values. In the end, when you manipulate your equation, you should get the same final answer. As crazy as that is, it doesn't matter which ordered pair you label as your x1, y1. Okay, so let's start with, I'm going to start with number 9 just because it is not blurry. And if 7 and 8, when they kind of printed with a little bit of blurriness. So let's start down here with number 9. Let's see if I can get a better. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is calculate our slope. It's the difference in your y values on top and the difference in your x values on bottom. So remember, there's that subtraction way where you take y2 minus y1 and then x2 minus x1. And that's a perfectly fine way. I just think that gets a little dicey when you're subtracting and there are negatives involved, and a lot of kids will mess it up. So I have what I call, and I think some of you remember this, the Glessner method, right? So you can either at this point find the difference, -6 minus -1, which I'm telling you, many kids will mess up, even if we include the parentheses, which is going to give you a -5. Or you could do my method. My method is, how do you get from a -1 down to a -6? And the answer is you go down 5 or -5. Either way is fine. Now we do the same for the x's. You can take 4 minus 2, or you can ask yourself, how do you get from a 2 up to a 4? And the answer is add 2. Either way, the answer is +2. So again, whether you set up these subtraction problems or you use my method where you ask yourself, if you start here at a -1, how do you get to a -6? You go down 5. If you start at a 2, how do you get to a 4? It's up 2. Either way, your numbers are the same. Okay, anyways, now we know our slope is m. Or our slope is m, but our slope is -5/2. Now we need to plug into our formula. We need an x1 and a y1. And I just told you a few minutes ago, it doesn't matter if you choose this ordered pair for your x1, y1, or if you choose this ordered pair for your x1, y1. It doesn't matter. You'll get the same answer either way. So I'm going to go ahead and use this very first pair here, ordered pair, as my x1, y1. So y minus -1 equals m, which is my slope that I just calculated, and I hope I didn't make a mistake, parenthesis x minus x1, which is the 2. Guess what? So many kids mess up and put the y where the x goes and the x where the y goes. They think it goes in order, and really it's like crisscrossing. This number comes first. This number is out here at the far end of our equation. Okay. This becomes addition. Now we're going to distribute. -5/2 times x just stays -5/2x. And -5/2 times -2 is +5. Now we solve for y, so we subtract 1 so that cancels. Y equals -5/2x plus 4. And I assure you, you will get that same final equation even if you chose this ordered pair when you were plugging in for x1, y1. Okay? So again, they start us with 2 ordered pairs. We calculate the slope. We plug into point slope form. We distribute our slope, and we solve for the y, and we end up with slope intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. There's my slope, and there's my y-intercept. You could very easily graph this line. And it would be the same as if you graphed these 2 points and connected them. It would all be the same line. It's really cool how these linear equations can be manipulated to always arrive at the slope-intercept form. I think that's pretty cool. Let's do, I don't know, let's do number 10. Why not? Okay, we have to find the slope first. Go ahead and set up a subtraction problem if you care to. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use my method. For the y's, if I start at a -8, how do I get up to a +7? I need to add 15. That's my top number, +15. Now, for the x's, if I start at a -3, how do I get up to a +2? I have to add 5. So +5 is my denominator. And 15/5 is the same as 3. That's your m. M is 3. Now, you have a choice. Which would you rather do? Would you rather use 2 negative numbers when you're plugging into the point slope formula, or would you rather use 2 positive numbers? I don't know that it matters one way or the other. If you prefer working with negatives, knock yourself out. If you would prefer working with positives, knock yourself out that way. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm going to use the 2, 7. So it's y minus 7 equals 3x minus 2. And I need to distribute. And I need to add 7 to both sides. And there we go. Y equals 3x plus 1. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. All right, let's do number 11, where we're forced to use negatives, no matter what. Slope first. I'm going to use the Glessner method. To get from a -3 to a -1, you'd have to go up 2. That's a +2. To get from a -6 to a -4, you'd have to go up 2. That's a +2. And 2/2 is 1. My slope is 1. Okay? Now, let's use this ordered pair. Let's use the first one. Y minus -3 equals m, which is your slope, x minus -6. Let's fix those up so that it says y plus 3 equals 1, x plus 6. Distributing the 1 doesn't really change anything because multiplying by 1, the numbers keep their value. And solve for y by subtracting 3. There you go. Y equals mx plus b. My slope is 1. My y-intercept is +3. You know what? This is so far only about an 11-minute video. Let's go ahead and do one more example together. We've got the time. We may as well. Slope first. How do you get from a 7 down to a 2? -5. And how do you get from a -4 up to a +6? You would have to add 10. So +10, that simplifies to -1/2. Okay? You know, we're in Algebra 1. So, you know, technically this is a fine fraction, but you are in advanced math, so I feel like we should all be converting our fractions to the lowest terms or the most simplified form by now. Just saying. Which ordered pair do you want to use? Let's use 6-2. I don't know, why not? Let's use 6-2. Y minus 2 equals my slope, x minus the 6. Okay, got to distribute. -1/2 times -6, or you could say -1/2 of -6. Negative and negative makes positive. 1/2 of 6 is 3. Oops, no parenthesis there. Sorry. Got carried away. Now, we've distributed. Let's solve for y. So we have to get rid of that -2, so we add 2. Y equals mx plus b. There's my slope. There's my y-intercept. What do you think? Pretty cool, huh? I mean, all things considered, I think it's pretty cool. All right, so that concludes this video, and that actually concludes now Unit 4, Lesson 5, learning about point-slope form. I hope this makes sense. I hope it's not too challenging. If you need some assistance, you know what to do. Get a hold of me, and we can do a Google Meet. Okay, guys? Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.